Right now you're taking a look at some viewer-submitted photos and videos of the flooding happening in parts of southwestern Ohio. Because we've had rain today, we will have rain tomorrow. We expect what you see here to worsen before it starts to dramatically improve. Of course, we haven't added as considerable amount of rain to what you see behind me with today, but we will tomorrow in the form of some stronger, maybe even some severe storms as well. We'll break down that risk here in just a few minutes. I want to touch up on exactly what you were just looking at, which this photo is in parts of Warren County that was under that flash flooding warning last night. Hamilton Township, which don't be confused, that's in Warren County, very southern part. If you're familiar with Little Miami High School, this is not too far from where the Little Miami High School is. Yeah, just flooding very close to the Little Miami River that you see there. And then taking a look here, this is a little bit closer to Clinton County over in Blanchester. This was also submitted to us yesterday. Very high water levels being seen there. That is typically, of course, a creek. And I mean, there's really only one thing to do, and that's sit there, stand there with your hands on your hips and be like, well, that's a lot of damage. And hopefully things are starting to dramatically improve for those out that direction before they start to worsen. Let me know what you guys are seeing. As per usual, I appreciate your storm reports. We're going to go ahead and get into what your forecast looks like here in just a second. If you have any questions about this forecast or how your 4th of July plays out, yeah, can you believe it? I'm already talking about July. It'll be here in 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. Tuesday is July 1st. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the now, or at least for today, in which we saw a little less coverage in those showers and thunderstorms, though I drove through some of those showers, and by all means, they are still packing a little bit of a punch. Brief downpours and maybe some strikes of lightning. No warnings from what we've seen. We started off the day very hazy in some spots. Visibility did take a hit, and then the afternoon rolled in. Mostly cloudy skies. Really didn't do much for those temps. We're only in the mid-80s right now. I'd say only. That's seasonable for this time of year, but it's not the low 90s that we have been battling for several days straight. So once again, not a first alert weather day for the heat, not a first alert weather day for the storm potential, but you're going to kind of run into both because heat indexes this afternoon are still closer to about 90 degrees, and we are still noticing some spotty showers and storms. This is what Newport on the Levee looking north towards downtown looks like. It perhaps looks a little steamy, so you got some clouds, but you also got some peaks of sun as well. Overall, not a washout of a day compared to yesterday and the day before. Let's take a look here at active satellite and radar, which most of the action has started to dwindle, at least here locally. It started to lift north and away from the area. Now that I realize this, guys, I have the wrong weather graphics in my double box. I apologize for that, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. Let me fix that. I apologize. Okay, so, all right, there we go. My goodness. Can you tell it's a Sunday? No one's mentioned anything to me. Come on, guys, call me out. It's okay. Okay, let's take a look here at your satellite and radar image. Things have overall quieted down. We've noticed a couple of showers and thunderstorms in very eastern Claremont County, parts of Brown County. Those have since weakened to these really small showers, but at the same time, just because they weaken doesn't mean they can't strengthen again. We noticed this yesterday. We'll notice it with the afternoon today. It's 6:04, so overall we don't expect things to worsen. Generally, it'll start to improve a little bit. The heaviest action is seen north towards Columbus. In fact, they've got flash flood warnings in parts of the very western side of Columbus, or the very northeastern side of Dayton. I don't exactly know. Urbana, I'm so sorry, don't quote me on that, but yeah, that's what we had yesterday. The heaviest rain happened seemingly right here and a little bit north and east of us towards Chillicothe, whereas today we kind of lucked out, for lack of a better term. Overall, your evening, you might be battling a couple of those showers and thunderstorms seemingly popping up out of nowhere, but other than that, what's popping up southwest of Cincinnati, outside of our viewing area in general, you might see them approaching Carroll County, Owen County, Switzerland, Ohio, maybe even the southern point of Ripley County, but overall no washouts in this forecast is the good news. So we talked so much about how we've been dealing with flooding. You saw it just a second ago, and you will more than likely see more images coming on into our newsroom, or I will, coming into our newsroom within the next few hours. And if you do, and you can do so safely, send us your photos and videos. That way we can let people know what people are seeing, because I can only do so much from the skies and from here in Queensgate, so I appreciate that. So what you're taking a look at right now is radar estimates of how much rain has fallen over the last 2 days, or 48 hours, however you want to describe it. Notice that the heaviest rain happened right over here towards southern Clinton and southeastern Warren County, where we had flash flood warnings this time yesterday. So anywhere from about 2 to 4 inches fell there. Of course, most of the reports that I'm seeing lean towards the 4-inch side. We also did have some heavy rain moving through parts of southeastern Indiana, so those rainfall totals are anywhere from about 1 to 2 inches. And again, I think this is being a little kind. I think we did see about 2, maybe 3 inches out that direction. And the important thing is this fell very quickly. It's not 2 hours, it's not 2 inches over a 4-hour period. This is 2 inches within a 1-hour period, and that's what causes flash flooding concerns. And that's exactly what we saw moving through parts of southern Warren and Clinton counties this time yesterday. And I know someone's going to have a question about this because I also was a little surprised, but yesterday we did have that severe thunderstorm warning in southern Warren and Clinton counties. It was just a severe thunderstorm warning, but it had a tornado possible tag on it. Nothing has come out of that at all. It's mainly just flooding after flooding after flooding report, which of course is good news because you don't want to get reports of a tornado or any sort of tornadic damage. Speaking of damage, other folks did not luck out so much. I'm about to show you something that happened in Hamilton County, which this, my friends, a tree on a house in Sharonville, more than likely due to wind damage. So what happens? You get a lot of rain, you get it all at once, it seeps into the soil, it loosens up the dirt around the roots of the tree, and then one strong wind gust is all it takes. And more than likely, that's exactly what happened out to this house in Sharonville, Ohio. Once again, that's in Hamilton County. And you can see the root system underneath that tree is not impressive. So it probably didn't take much to take this tree down, if anything. So, I could be wrong. This is just speculation based off of my observations here, but yeah, that's a tree that probably should have been taken down a little bit ago. But nevertheless, thankfully no injuries being reported there. And no injuries being reported locally in general from yesterday and today's thunderstorms. Now tomorrow, things will start to change a little bit. We're going to be noticing a little bit more widespread rain, perhaps more organization to these showers and storms, which means a cold front. You're like, what is that? What does that mean? Why does it matter? It matters because it breaks this hot and humid and pop-up thunderstormy pattern that we've been in for at least 5 or 6 days at this point. And so I think we could very well get reports like this. However, the arrival of what could be strong to severe storms is arriving at the perfect time, meaning it's not arriving during the heat of the day, but it's not arriving too late in the night. It's kind of in that sweet spot in which it's possible, it's just not as likely here compared to other areas. Once again, that's going to be for Monday night. We'll get on that here in just a second. Let's talk about what the temperature shaped up to be today. We did have a decent amount of clouds. We had a nice little breeze coming on through, and we hit 87. I believe that was our forecast high from yesterday as well, which is good, but I bet it feels closer to 90 degrees once you factor in the humidity and the lack of a breeze here and there. Nowhere near the record, more close to normal, which, reminder, normal is 85 degrees, and it will warm up the later and later that we get into the summer, the heat of summer, quite literally, or the dog days of summer. Overall, temperatures right now at 6:10 this Sunday evening, they're very seasonable. We went from something that was a little bit more of a end of July, beginning of August feel to a June feel. That's why we stopped those first alert weather days on Friday and did not continue them into your weekend, because while the last couple of days have been warm and sticky, it's seasonable, right? It's summertime. We're going to see days like that more often than not, and today we're seeing it right now. Here's your dew point. So each time we see the air temperatures and the dew points getting really, really close together, that means the humidity is on the higher side of the spectrum. The air is more saturated, and it just is more likely for the showers and thunderstorms to pop up seemingly out of nowhere. All it takes is just a little bit of lift for these storms to pop up. So that's what we've been seeing yesterday and for today. Now tonight there is just a slim chance of some showers early. Things will start to pause into the overnight. Of course, there's just not a lot of active sun. There is no active sun. 72 for the forecast, low. Sunrise at 6:16. I want to show you something about Monday, because while we're talking so much about the severe risk for the late evening, there's still going to be impact to your day as well. So I'm going to starting you dark and early for Monday. Notice we still have some showers at least somewhat close to the area. I think some of us could be dodging those showers and storms for that morning commute. I think it's more likely that you get some of those south and west of Cincinnati. So if you're traveling along 71 down towards Louisville, just be mindful of this. Maybe give yourself some extra time. Overall, not the biggest impact here. It's just a new trend that I'm keeping an eye on. Here's the other information. So most of the day looks dry. Between the small chance that I just showed you in the morning and what you see right now, there's really not much going on other than warming temperatures. Humidity is also playing a factor. It's one more hot and humid afternoon, and then we eventually do see those showers and storms into the late evening. So this model picks up on it a little earlier than others. This one's showing around 6. Of course, this would be that time in which severe weather is possible as they approach the tri-state area. And then this model suggests it clears the area closer to about 10 or 11. I'd say that's kind of worst case scenario, because it is arriving kind of off the heat of the day, and that gives us just a little bit more window of opportunity for perhaps some severe thunderstorm warnings. Wind gusts would be our main concern here. Overall, not a huge risk that I'm seeing, even with this model. In fact, by Tuesday, maybe a small chance of showers south in the morning, and then we start to dry up pretty quickly. Overall, that's one thing the models are agreeing on. The nice sunshine that returns late in the day on Tuesday. For the sake of transparency, I'm going to show you a second model that handles the chance for storms a little bit differently. This one is one of our higher resolution models, which typically does a really good job on the timing, but it looks a little bit more intense. So take that with a grain of salt. So this is what we're seeing. I'm going to take you to Monday morning. Look, it kind of picks up on what we've been putting down in the last model. South and west of Cincinnati during the morning commute, you might run into some showers and a few rumbles of thunder. I'm not expecting anything severe with this, but it would impact that morning commute for some of us. Now let's talk about the afternoon. Okay, still looks mostly sunny for some. It's going to be hot. It's still going to be humid. Notice the storms have not arrived yet in this model. Here's 8, 10, 12. Look, and then the storms start to come together, and that's arriving a little bit later into the evening, in which I'd say this is best case scenario, because if these arrive when the night has fallen, there's just not enough or not as much heat for the storms to work with. That's not to say those north and west of Cincinnati can't get a stronger thunderstorm. It's just less likely. And then we take you into your Tuesday, and it's putting down the same thing that other models are picking up, and that is a good amount of sunshine towards the second half of the day. So once again, Monday, it's a small chance, but it's still there. We still want to stay weather aware. Again, wind gusts are going to be our main concern, and that's if we get those storms. Worst case scenario, the storms arrive earlier into the evening, and they have more opportunity to feed off of heat. Best case scenario, they arrive after night has fallen, and we'll still get some thunderstorms more than likely. They're just going to be below severe limits. So here's what the Storm Prediction Center is suggesting: a marginal risk for severe weather for most of the tri-state area, most of, if not all of, Indiana, most of Illinois, and very northwestern Kentucky as well. So this, what you see here, marginal risk, is for wind gusts, at least here locally. And of course, I just showed you the flooding impacts. The more rain we add to that, it will just continue to enhance the flooding concerns that we've already seen. So please take that seriously, and please let each other know. Okay. Oh, we got a lot of people tuning on in. I'm so glad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about your midweek, and then I'll get to some questions about Monday's forecast, because We talked so much about the chance for storms, but thankfully these storms aren't for nothing, right? We are looking forward to mostly sunny and comfortable days, or at least more comfortable. Like I mentioned, it's June. Remember, it's normal to be somewhat uncomfortable outside during the summertime, and that's what we're seeing here. In the Muggy meter, this has been very consistent, which is good. We love to see consistency in which, yeah, the trend for dew point, which is how much moisture is in the air, humidity, they all do the same thing, they all mean the same thing. It's dropping into late in the day on Tuesday, so not only is this going to make us feel a little bit more comfortable stepping out the door, but it's also going to allow for those temperatures to drop a little bit as well as we head overnight into Wednesday. So if you missed the cooler mornings, Wednesday morning is going to be the coolest one. And then notice as we get into Friday, the 4th of July, yeah, the summer sizzle is quick to swing back into the tri-state area. Once again, it's June. It's normal to see the fluctuations like this one. Now, the moment everyone's been waiting for, and we've been talking about this, the opportunity, I should say, for some action, some of Mother Nature's own fireworks on Friday. I've got such good news for you guys, and the trend continues to be our friend here. I continue to lessen the chance for some storms there on Friday afternoon. However, it's still not bone dry. I'm still seeing the smallest spotty chance north of Cincinnati. So, of course, we're still several days out. I'd say bank on the heat, the humidity, and the mostly dry day. Just keep in the back of your mind, it's not a zero chance quite yet. Keep checking back with us. Friday, 4th of July is looking more and more dry, but Saturday and Sunday, notice rain on the roof forecast is suggesting we go right back into a hot, humid pattern, and so with it comes those run-of-the-mill, heat of the day showers and storms. That'll be impacting your next weekend. No washouts in that forecast, and honestly, no washouts in this forecast, this whole forecast, because Monday morning, not going to affect everybody. Most of the day is dry. Your evening rolls in. Okay, maybe your plans are more than likely going to be affected late Monday evening. Can't say that with 100% certainty yet because there's still disagreement across our models. Keep that in mind, but that's more than likely when you're going to get some rain throughout the day on Monday. Tuesday, improving conditions, bone dry Wednesday, dry on Thursday, mostly dry Friday, and these chances for Saturday, Sunday are heat of the day pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Summer sizzle is here, folks, and it's ushering in July with hot and humidity. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we have any questions. Seth tuning in. Hi, Erin. How are you doing on a Sunday night? I'm doing good. Thank you. Susan. Good evening, Erin. We just got an alert. Heavy precip near our area in Blanchester. Blanchester and your neighbors, Susan, I hope you guys are all doing well, doing a little bit better. Hopefully the precip stops for you guys and for the sake of all the flooding that's going on there. Thanks for tuning in as always, Susan. John. John saying, watching from the Columbus area. It's pronounced... You're funny. You're funny, John. I'm going to get off this live stream and I'm going to listen to it on my ear and hopefully it'll give me the right answer. But thanks for tuning in all the way from Columbus. Thanks for staying weather aware and I hope you're staying dry. Susan's asking, how do you send pictures to everybody? To us. Great question. You just go to www.fox19.com/pics. I'm going to see if there's a way for me to write that somewhere. I'm going to put it in the comments, actually, because... send your weather photos, videos here. Because I'm sure you're not the only one who's gotten that, who has that question. So thank you for reminding me to remind everybody. Okay, I just went ahead and put it in our comments. So you can go right to that link. I'm going to pin it so that everyone can see it as they comment, but that's how you do it. You just go there and it gives us permission to use your photos online and on air. Thank you, Susan. Jay's asking what my email is, so you can go to our website and you can contact the weather team from there. Jay, thank you. John saying Urbana, I'm so sorry, is about 30 minutes west of Columbus. Yep. June, Madeira was dumped on. Absolutely. I've got family near that side of the city and for the last few days, June, they've been like, where's our rain? Where is our rain? That seems to be one of the spots in which rainfall has been kind of hard to come by, whereas today got slammed. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, June. Katie tuning in. Our home was flooded yesterday in the Blanchester Midland area. Yeah, you guys were under that flash flood warning for a few hours, and by all means, just because the warning's over doesn't mean the impacts are. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'm sending you all my well wishes. Dwayne's asking, when we going to get rain? Hopefully you can rewind this and I tell you every opportunity that you can get rain this week. Thanks for tuning in. Jen saying, do you think the level will be raised for tomorrow? I think it could be raised for parts of the United States. I don't think there's enough certainty for us locally here in Southwest Ohio and the tri-state area that our chance for severe weather will increase. It would not only take a greater concern for severe weather, but also take a storm shift, which if both are possible, this is absolutely possible. Do I think it's likely? I think it's more likely that the area towards Indianapolis, central Indiana, and south central Illinois, kind of the bullseye will probably end up right there, whereas we in the tri-state, I'm seeing us getting the tail end of that severe threat. It's a great question, Jen. Thank you for tuning in as always. All right, and I love you guys talking to each other about your situations going on in Blanchester, and absolutely hope that you guys are able to bounce back quickly from something like this. We'll go ahead and get to your 7-day forecast now that it is 6:22. I don't need to be talking for an hour and a half like I did last night, God forbid. Things are a lot quieter today. The same cannot be said for tomorrow. A chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. It exists throughout the entire day. There is a chance for those south and west of Cincinnati to get some of those showers and thunderstorms as early as the morning commute. I think these are going to be weakening as they cross into the area just because they're arriving in the morning. Overall, not a huge impact in the morning compared to the evening, in which, yes, strong to severe weather is possible. It's a very low chance, but it is possible. Wind gusts and, of course, any additional heavy rain that we see will just amplify the flooding concerns that we've already been seeing and battling over the last couple of afternoons. Tuesday, it starts mild and muggy. It does not end mild and muggy. We've got morning rain followed by afternoon sun. There might be a chance for some rain southeast of Cincinnati, just because the cold front is still going to be kicking through the area at that point. It's a very small chance. For most of us, the afternoon will bring nothing but sunshine and comfortable air. And then Wednesday, we're all going to be soaking that in. 65 degrees that morning low, 85 that afternoon high. That is your pick day of the week. It has been for a while. And thankfully, the drying trend, or the drier trend, continues. Thursday, partly cloudy, 86. 4th of July. I got rid of the thunderstorm icon, guys. Is that me manifesting? A little bit. But it's also me looking at the data and being like, the storm chances that we see on Friday afternoon are slim to none. It's going to take a decent amount of lift for these showers and storms to pop up, and I think it's more likely to happen north of the area if it happens at all. So your plans for 4th of July are looking better and better thanks to the forecast. It's still going to be hot and humid though, 88 degrees, perhaps heat indices in the low 90s for the 4th of July. Saturday, it seems like FCC's not been at home for a long time. And I absolutely know that is the case, but they're home this Saturday. They're going to be home bringing back potentially the low 90s, heat and humidity, maybe some pop-up showers in the afternoon just because it's so hot and humid. But I'm not seeing any big rain this weekend. Maybe a small afternoon chance on Sunday, but signs, from what I'm seeing right now, signs are pointing to Monday of next week for our next big weather maker. So Monday, tomorrow, and then Monday of next week, and a whole lot of dry time in between. Comfortable dry time, then less comfortable dry time, and then the storms come back in. So it really is a charcuterie board of a summer forecast, meaning it's got a little bit of everything from the sticky storms to the comfortable sunshine, the cooler-ish mornings, normal mornings, and the foggy mornings, maybe with that warmer air starting to travel on into your weekend. So we'll go ahead and see if we have any other questions, and I'm not seeing any other questions. All right, we're going to go ahead and bounce this Sunday afternoon. It's 6:25. I think I've overstayed my welcome, to be frank. I'll let you guys know should anything change, and of course, keep checking back with us for that forecast, not just for Monday and the chance for storms, but for next weekend as well. It is 4th of July weekend, and I'm sure Friday is not the only day that you might have plans. We'll be watching that, of course, like a hawk. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday.